today we're going to talk about the 6 steps of the sales process. And of course, this is a discussion. We're just going to brainstorm together. In this episode, we're going to learn how the sales work, the psychology of it all, including as well what we are selling, the product knowledge, and other attributes to build and retain trust. Welcome, everyone. This is Taking the Leap. Taking the Leap is a podcast that me and Diana started to document our journey into business ownership and creating Parrots Lab. Now, with us today, our team who's going to take us to the next level. So we've got Emily Green here and Alex Garner. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So this is the 4 of us are going to be tasked in the coming years to achieve milestone after milestone. These are great, big, bold milestones. Starting off reaching 50 MRR, monthly recurring revenue, to 100 MRR, and beyond that. And the reason is not really the money. The reason is to amplify a purpose that we've identified as worth pursuing, which is giving voice to the voiceless, presenting a platform for people to be able to share what's inside of them. And in doing so, building personal brands and growing their businesses. So this is kind of the introduction that I have in mind. And today we're going to talk about the 6 steps of the sales process. And of course, this is a discussion. We're just going to brainstorm together. In this episode, we're going to learn how the sales work, the psychology of it all, and including as well what we are selling, the product knowledge, and other attributes to build and retain trust. Diana, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You two are going to be the most pivotal people on the team. Because you're helping to guide others, and as we hire more people, you'll be the leaders within your respective departments. One thing that I wanted to start off with was a quick understanding. If you know the difference between marketing and sales, do you know the difference? Because it took me a little while to understand.
So I graduated in college with a marketing degree, but they had 2 specific areas of marketing. So back then, it was sales was within marketing. Mm-hmm. So the old definition, you had integrated marketing, communications plus sales, and that was all marketing. But I think in the last 17 years since I graduated, 18 years. No, it's longer than that, showing my age. But in the last 20 years, that's changed, right? And for me, sales is about establishing a relationship and transformation. I think marketing is more about on the back end, how do we make that transformation happen within our own company, show our brand and build a brand. But the sales is about the actual client. It's about the prospect and the lead that you're talking to, and about the transformation that your business can take them through. Mm-hmm. So I think marketing is more on a wider scale, and sales is more one-to-one. But that doesn't mean that marketing can't be one-to-one. I just think that that's just my kind of definition of the 2.
What about you, Emily?
Interesting. When I think of marketing compared to sales, I think of marketing as a building block. So marketing is increasing that visibility, building that credibility, reaching a broader audience of people who may not necessarily be potential clients, but people who might be able to learn something or find value in the information that you have to share. And then I think of sales as the people who can directly benefit from the services that you're offering. But they have to understand who you are, and they have to have that trust in who you are in order to feel confident moving forward in that sale. So I think of marketing as a building block in a sales picture.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I love that.
What about you, Diana?
So building off of the both of you, really, I agree. Marketing, I think of it as larger scope. And hoping to touch a lot of different people. But sales, it's more of an intimate relationship where you're starting to understand the pain points for the specific types of people that we're trying to sell to. and see if they're a good fit for us, for what it is that we have to offer. We never want to push anything onto anybody. We want to see if what we have to offer will help to ease their pain.
Yeah. Before meeting Shelby Wilson, my mentor, I used to really be very much aligned with you, like 100% on like what is marketing and what is sales. But then he explained it to me in a way that is very simple and made me like, it's an aha moment, light bulb. But it's very simple. The whole role of marketing is to get people to raise their hand and say, I'm interested in whatever you're doing. So, AKA a lead. So marketing is really at the fundamental level is delivering a lead.
Right.
Now, how we deliver a lead, what does it take to get that lead is all what you guys talked about. Is all the positioning, right? What do we want to be known for? All the marketing, messaging campaigns, all of the things, the outreach that we do, what do we want to be known for? And everything so that people come to us and say, yeah, that thing, I'm interested, and that's the lead. Now, sales job or the function of a sales is to take that lead and convert it into a happy customer. One time, Shelby asked, I answered turning lead to a customer, and he said, no, a happy customer.
Yeah.
So he insisted on a happy customer because in modern day, if you're thinking of one transaction, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's so much more expensive to get a new client than to retain existing. So the goal is that once the client become a client, they need to be happy and they need to be an advocate for our brand.
Yeah.
So I think
and you don't want refunds. If they're not happy, then they refund, right?
Yes.
Or they leave early. So that's the important part of sales too, is make sure that they're a happy customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I like that.
Yeah. So marketing brings leads, sales converts leads to happy customers. Okay, so let's talk about the steps for the sale. So the first step is preparation. What do you guys feel that the preparation should be when approaching a prospect?
I would say most important is showing that you have a baseline understanding of what that client does and that you've done your research going into the conversation and that you're not just going in blind, that you are invested in what they do and what they are hoping to accomplish in that partnership.
Very good.
Yeah. I think it depends, like, is it, if it's a cold lead, if it's a warm lead or whatever we're discussing, but I totally agree with what Emily said. I'm going to take a viewpoint more on the personal side. Like, how can I prepare for that, right? Not so much like, of course, it's important to understand their industry and what they're doing, but I mean, what can I do to make sure that I'm prepared for that sales call? So this is kind of the stuff that I've been getting into lately is I call it neuroselling, and it's about neuroscience and the nervous system and the brain and how to prepare for a sales call. So I would make sure that I'm doing my, like morning routine. I'm doing my meditations. I'm doing the things that make whatever works for me. I'm doing the things that make me prepared for the call, to be the most present, to be the most mindful, so I can fully deliver what I need to deliver during that sales call. But in terms of preparation for the individual client, I mean, the more information, the better, right? And especially with AI, it's pretty simple to get that. But yeah, I don't, I guess that's more of like a personal point of view on how I would prepare.
Important.
So a big one too, and both of you touched on it a little bit, it's that mindset, right? The mindset is so important. Are you coming into it confidently?
Yeah.
Do you already have the belief that I believe so much in this product that I truly think that this is going to help the person that I'm about to have a conversation with, right? The mindset is so important. If you go into a conversation with my potential client, Naja, thinking, oh, I don't know, I don't believe so much in this product, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell them, then they're going to be able to get that.
Oh yeah,
sense
they pick
off
up
of
on
you,
it.
right?
Yeah.
And so that is going to be so important. Are you confident? Do you believe in the product yourself? Because I truly don't think that anybody that doesn't believe in their product that they're selling, I don't think they should be working there, right? The person that works for that product or for that company needs to believe in the product.
Yeah, 100%. I think certainty is like, okay, so sales to me is certainty. Like, not only is the person that's selling or, helping transform the client, are they certain in the product, right? But you have to make sure that that the lead is certain in the product, right? So certainty to me is like, or how do we do that? It's with conviction, right? And so we have to believe in the product, because conviction is the transfer of certainty. If you're not certain, they pick up on it.
Yeah.
They don't know why. They don't know why they feel off. Like but there's science behind this, that if my nervous system is screwed up and I'm anxious, and I go into a sales call, your nervous system picks up on it.
Yeah.
You don't know why. You don't know what's causing it, but you feel off, right? So it's called, and there's certain things called mirror neurons too that do that. So it's like fascinating to me, but I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I think another portion is understanding the customer, right? Naja touched on marketing earlier, and they're the ones that are like, oh, I'm interested. But then that sales component, okay, why are they coming to you? Right? What's their pain point? And having that basic understanding and making sure that we're actively listening to them is really important.
Yeah.
And both of you talked about product knowledge. And it's huge. And I love what you said, Alex, about conviction. Because if we don't believe in what we're selling, we will never be able to sell it. It's because since sales become a tedious job, because sales is very hard, especially, I don't know, Emily, how long have you been, or how much have you worked in sales? But you know what's the most important attribute in sales is how many no's can you handle?
Yep. That
A lot
rejection.
of people hate sales because they cannot handle the no.
Yeah, the rejection.
Yeah.
That's why
it's a deterrent.
it's important to detach from the outcome. Right? Like that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, like not so much like you don't want to go into the sale thinking I need this sale, but you don't want to go into the sale thinking that I don't need this sale, right? So there's a balance between the two. But yeah, the detaching from the outcome is really important for the mindset. And that makes it more about the client and making sure that they're aligned. Like what you were just saying earlier, I think alignment is the best word for that. Make sure that we're aligned with them and that they're aligned with us. Like that there's nothing left on the table after this conversation, and that we're aligned.
Yeah.
To make sure it fits.
Piggyback on what you just said, not to be aligned with the outcome. What did you say about?
Oh, detached from the outcome. Yeah.
Yes. There's also could be a frame of mind that we can approach this, where we are excited to let you share this gift. So the services that we provide are really gifts to those clients.
Yeah, life-changing.
Yes, we are really like, we don't want anything for ourselves. It's really I'm excited to share with you information that will help you achieve your goals.
Yeah.
That's the mindset, that's the approach.
Yeah.
Is that our services are gifts to the prospect. And it's not really, I want this. Now so of course it's a trade of value, but the idea is that sales is more of sharing information. And we as people, like we're all salespeople, because we're all but the good salesperson is a consultant and not a salesperson.
Yeah.
So,
Right. A big thing on that one is understanding what it is that we have to offer that's different from everybody else. Right. That's what's going to make us excited, because most people that are probably going to sit in front of us, they've probably tried marketing or they've tried some sort of venue similar to what we're doing in the past and have gotten burned. That's why they're not with them any longer. So what is it that we have that sets us apart that's going to fix their pain point? And therefore, on top of that, it's important for us to understand who our competitors are.
Yeah.
Who are our competitors? What are they doing differently? Is there anything that they're doing that's potentially better than us, and how can we exceed that?
Yeah.
Right? What's their price point, so that when we come in having the conversation, it goes back to that confidence, that product knowledge, right? I know that what I have to give you is the best thing that is able
out there,
and that's going to be offered. And this is why I'm telling you this confidently, happily, and I'm producing it to you for you as a gift. Like, here's our gift, so you don't have to continue looking and you don't have to continue searching. This is the best product that you're going to receive at the best price.
I love that.
Talking about product knowledge, what do you think we are selling, Emily?
We are giving our clients the visibility and the opportunity to stand out like never before. That is what we offer our clients.
I think just being here for 3 months, 2 months, what I've seen happen is like we give them a voice, we give them a platform to live their purpose, right? Like especially and this comes with alignment is the business. Some businesses, some owners don't like they care about their business, but their purpose isn't behind it. And we want to work with those that are like have their purpose behind it, and that just seems like a more aligned fit because those people like they're the ones that want to show up. They're the ones that want to be here. And I think like giving them a voice and a platform to do that, like that's the hugest gift as a business owner. That's all you want. You just want to be seen.
Yeah.
Like when your purpose is behind your business, like you just want to be seen. You just want to get it out there. And that's what we provide.
Absolutely. And to add to this, people nowadays buy from other people they know, like, and trust. Gone are the days where people are buying that logo. So people buy from people.
Yeah.
People buy from people. As soon as we understand that at the fundamental level, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. How do we help our clients? Well, we help you build the know, like, and trust online, AKA building a personal brand. A personal brand is the most important vehicle to deliver business growth. So people think that, personal brand is nice, but where are the money? Okay. Well, if you build successful personal brand and you have an audience, business becomes super easy.
Yeah. You can sell whatever you want.
You can charge higher.
Yeah.
You can charge higher. People are still going to buy because they want to work with Diana and Alex and Emily and Naja because they know, like, and trust us.
Yeah.
So we can charge high. Even if our quality is below average, they're still going to work with us. So personal brand is the biggest leverage a business owner can have in this day and age.
That's why you see these influencers, they gain all these followers and then they come out with merch and then they come out with this product and then they come out with that. That's exactly why, right? Because they have a following that know, like, and trust them.
Yeah, and that's most of creators who are popular are really struggling because they are starting as a creator and not a business owner.
Yeah.
But if you start as a business owner, oh my God, the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you already have something to sell already. And so that's huge. Building a personal brand is ultimately the most important factor because, yes, we do sell SEO. We do sell websites and digital presence. We do sell Meta ads, Google ads, all of that. The only issue is that let's say we make you rank on top of Google. And the next person there is also have a lot of reviews, 5 stars and whatever. So what's the difference between you and the other and the other and the other?
Right.
If there's the only differentiation is that if they see that name on Google, I know this person. As soon as they realize that they know, like, and trust you, you are immediately the chosen person on that thing. So all of that stuff, we sell a lot of good services and high quality services. We have experts across all the factors of digital marketing. But ultimately, the biggest differentiator and the biggest leverage is going to be the personal brand.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree that I know you and I have talked about this in the past, but everybody has a stake, right? Everybody has something that is amazing and that we want people to come and be attracted to us for. But what we are selling, we're selling that sizzle, right? We're selling, we're explaining, we added these ingredients to it. Just imagine how flavorful this is.
Yeah.
It's, a medium rare. It's, you know what I mean? So that we're adding those additional characteristics. It's no longer just a plain old steak. It's all of those additional things that create that sizzle that makes people mouths water. And then they're like, I want to be working with Emily. Emily has the sizzle. Whereas Alex, he just has a random old steak,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so that's what we help to build, to expose, to get people to imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we clear on the step 1, which is preparation?
Yeah.
So to recap, step 1 is preparation. preparation happen before we engage with any prospect. It requires positive mindset, product knowledge, understanding the conviction that Alex talked about, knowing the competitor landscape, and finally knowing the customer. Now we are in a sales call or in a personal meeting with a client. What's the next step? Step 2 is introduction. All right. What do you feel the introduction should be, Emily?
The introduction needs to be giving the client the opportunity to share what their needs are, understanding those pain points, and then finding that alignment, right? Being able to speak knowledgeably and confidently about what services we can offer and how that can help them to accomplish whatever it is they're trying to achieve.
Right. This, I think, is a great point, but not for the introduction stage.
Okay, that's fair.
It's for
I'm here to learn.
Of course. No, of course. It's qualification stage.
Yeah.
Of course.
For preparation, introduction, qualification. The introduction is really the first impressions. Are we showing on time? Are we are our clothes
Wait,
appropriate?
stop. It's a discussion though, so don't tell the answers.
You're going to give them a chance too.
Give us a chance.
Right. Just because, So, all right, go for it.
So when I'm talking, he touched on punctuality, right? We're showing up on time. What else is important when it comes to the introduction with the potential client?
I think rapport is really important. Like just finding some sort of commonality with them.
Yeah.
That's what people are really good at. Like really high performing salespeople are good at rapport. Just finding something that they find in common with them, right? Rapport is really important. And that can be whatever. That can be, hey, where are you at? Or like, where do you live? Or where are you calling from? Or where am I calling you? And then, I'm in LA. Have you ever been to the US? Or have you ever been to California? And it can be something simple like that. But it's just breaking the ice, right? And letting them know that you're not a bot, that you're real. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just finding something in commonality, I think. But also in the introduction, what I think is important is framing the call. Like, what are we going to be talking about? So after rapport, like framing the call, you want to set it up like, okay, what are we going to be going over, right? Like give them something that they can't say no to. Like, this is what we're going to be going over. This is in within that frame, that's where the alignment piece comes in.
Right. You're already establishing like, okay, they're not having to wonder, okay, why is he calling me for?
Yeah.
In a way, you're already building that trust.
Yeah. Rapport goes throughout the whole call, technically, but you definitely want to start with it initially. Yeah. But the frame is good because it's like, okay, so like basically why we're talking today, right? I just want to give you, I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do, but first I want to find out about you and see if this is a good fit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about alignment. That's the point of today's call. That's what I would say. So something like that.
Emily, you come from the hospitality industry. So, right, when we first meet somebody, what are some of the expectations that we've had of our team members in the past when first making eye contact? What does that look like for the potential client and then the salesperson?
It definitely translates. It's making sure that the person feels comfortable, that they feel heard, that you're giving them the acknowledging head nods that Diana's giving me right now, and just really showing engagement and interest in what they have to say.
Yeah, the smiling, the eye contact, the body language,
Presence,
right?
yeah.
Exactly, the presence. If we're like this, or if we're like, oh, sorry, and we're constantly on our phones every 5 seconds, then the potential client's going to be like, okay, I'm not that important, right?
Exactly.
So we want to make sure that we point our toes to the nose, right?
Oh, I haven't heard that one in a while.
I know, right? And then we're making sure that we are actively engaging with that person so that they feel like they're absolutely special.
That nonverbal communication goes really far. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's really important to make them feel safe and trusted, like that they can trust us, right? But also that we can trust them. So there's three brain states that I've studied that sales go through, and I'm going to talk a lot about this. But the first one is safety and trust. So you have to and then it's the emotional part of the brain, which makes the buying decision, and then the logical part comes after it. which but the first one is safety and trust, and that's really, really important. If you don't have that, you can't get into the emotional part of the brain.
Safety.
Absolutely. It's very much Maslow's hierarchy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love that. Yeah. So my note says that introduction is all about first impression and small talk. And the first impression is, are we getting on time? Are we presentable? If we're on Zoom, is our background, there's clothing in the bedroom and like it's messy and like whatever that presentable.
Yeah, tone of voice as well.
And then the warm welcome, the smile that you mentioned, that really we're excited to be on this call or to meet the people. When it comes to small talk, it also feeds from preparation. So remember, in the preparation stage, we research that client. We know where they're calling from.
Yeah.
We know maybe their last name is the same last name as a friend of ours who lives in that town. So do you know X? And, and so building that common grounds and that rapport will help us a lot during the continuation of the call.
Oh, one more thing is appearance. So I know we hate to say it, but optics, right? The way that we look, if we look like we just rolled out of our beds and then we're coming into the meeting with our pajamas on, right? Yeah. Then they're probably going to be like, what is happening? Am I getting punked, right? So, so we want to make sure that every time that we do meet with a potential client, that we are dressed appropriately, that we're presentable at all times, having showered, right? Maybe wear some deodorant.
Especially with what we do. We do high quality work and it's a high ticket. You can't just,
Yeah.
You're representing the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right. Ready for step 3? So step 3 is the qualification stage. So the point here is that before we move any forward in terms of presenting our offer, we want to know if this client is a good fit, like what Alex is saying. So what do you think that stage entail? And we can start with Alex this time.
Asking a lot of questions and not saying anything. It's a lot of silence on the salesperson's part. It's at least from my experience, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's asking open-ended questions, no close-ended, no no's or yeses. Making sure that you ask these certain questions that allow them to open up, because this is and with my experience, you have to ask them in the right order, and you have to ask them with the right tone and because you're getting personal here and starting to get personal. So phrases like, do you mind if I just ask you a personal question? Is that okay? Right? Like, and disarm them, right? Things like, just asking them like, why are you here? Why'd you sign up for the call? Of course, not like that, right? And also asking about their previous attempts, like what has happened in the past to lead you to where you are now. That's what I feel like. But yeah, there's tons in qualification, but that's where it starts, I think.
No, and you're right. Using that 80-20 rule, I actually learned this from Emily. The 80-20 rule, it's 80% of the time we're actively listening, letting them talk. And we only speak about 20% of the time. And about most of that 20% of the time is asking questions.
For this part, yeah.
To get clarity, to get a better understanding, and understanding what their potential fears or objections are.
Absolutely. So we need to dig into that pain, starting with, in our context, right? Like they're coming, how do you get your customers? So we want to know, how do they get the customer? Do you have capacity to grow? A lot of clients don't, they don't have capacity to grow. Like, for example, take Parrots Lab. If we keep the entire team as is, we probably can handle 10 more clients. Yeah. Believe it or not, we don't have capacity to handle more. So let's say we are at the 10 client, we're probably going to be either expanding, hiring more, or we're going to have to pause our marketing efforts.
Yeah.
So some people, really, they don't have capacity to grow.
Yeah.
And so we need to understand, is this the constraint? So that's one of the qualifications. If they have capacity to grow, what did they try before?
Yeah.
What's their experience like? Why this did not work for you? So we need to dig deep into the pain points and the problems that they're having, and then And also something that a lot of people miss is the opportunity cost. So if you're doing what you're currently doing, the coming 6 months, how much money you will be losing for not growing or for not, for example, if their sales is declining and they tell us that.
Yeah.
So how much does it cost you in opportunity cost if you did not do anything?
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So what, just curious, in terms of the 6 steps, what are the 6 steps? Or is that part of this?
No,
We
yeah,
don't know, we don't know
that's
yet.
great.
Because I'm wondering if I want to say something, but it might be part of the later
Might
step.
come later, yeah.
You know what I
so
mean?
that's a good point. So the 6 steps are preparation, introduction, qualification, presentation, closing, follow-up.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So we are at the qualification stage.
Okay.
I think to recap, we all like said great points are about like 80% listening, 20% talking. Most of the talking is asking the right questions. Going into not just business results, but also the fears, because these are the main drivers of human beings. Fear of loss. We wanna be heard. We wanna be proud of achieving whatever we need to achieve. There's a lot of like fears and emotions that drives human beings, and those are more important than the rational side and the logical side.
Right.
And then finally, in the qualification stage, we need to understand if this prospect have the means to afford what we're selling. Because we're in the end of the day, we are not, we are high ticket. So how do we know if they can afford us or not, Emily?
That's a great question, and I don't have an answer for it right now, but I do have something I want to say about the qualification
go
step.
for it, yeah.
This, for me, coming from not necessarily a sales background, I think the qualification step was something that I had the biggest misconception about coming in. I think that I assumed that we would work with anyone who wanted to work with us. But the more I learn about sales and the more I learn about, being, what's the word I'm looking for? The more I learn about being intentional about sales, we're not always going to be the right fit. And that's okay. And so I think that that's been eye-opening for me to realize that it's okay to come to a client and say, maybe we're not the right fit for you. And I think my assumption previously was that we're a business and we'll help anyone who wants our services. So that's been eye-opening for me.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple of things that come to mind in terms of the question that you asked us, in terms of how do we know if they can afford us? So you have to find, or I believe that you have to find that out in the discovery process or the qualification process, right? So you have to ask questions about, like you already mentioned a couple, like how are you getting your leads now? So you understand like where their business is at now. Like, are they profitable, right? What have they spent on past marketing efforts? Or you can just simply ask them, what is your budget for future marketing efforts, right? The questions like that help you understand before you get to the close if they're able to afford it or not, right? So it's definitely part of the qualifying process. So I wanted to mention this. I don't know if this is a fit for Parrots Lab or not, but it's just how I've done high ticket sales. I think I mentioned it last time to you. It's the heaven and hell approach. So in the qualifying stage, a good way to break it down, at least for when I did this at Jay Shetty, you ask them questions about their current hell, which is where you hit on their pain points. You hit on how it's affecting them. How is it impacting their family? How is it impacting this? And you go deep on that. And then you switch to future present tense. So that's where the questions come in of the cost of inaction. What if you don't do this? Also, like, what does it look like if we're able to work with you and in 3 months you're hitting your goals? What does that look like? And then you get them into that emotional state. So you have a hell and you have a heaven. Now, what happens why you do this before the presentation is because once you give your presentation, that's the bridge from hell to heaven. So the qualification stage is how heaven distinguishing those, and then the presentation brings those two together. So that's where it perceives as you are the way.
Yeah.
That's why it comes across that way.
And I love what you're saying, because what you're doing right now is you're having them tell you what they need.
Yes.
And remember, people are going to believe 100% of what comes out of their own mouth.
Yes.
Right? They're going to believe maybe 0%.
20% of what somebody else said.
Maybe that's being very generous, right? Maybe 20% of what's coming out of the Naja, the salesperson's mouth, right? So if they're saying, these are my pain points, this is what I want to avoid, this is what I want to get to, this is the stuff that they're telling you. Yeah. Right? And so now we're saying,
themselves.
you said, and they created that pathway to get to yes.
Exactly.
Right?
And then you alter your pitch according to whatever they said, right? Or the presentation in this point.
Exactly.
So I think that I've known it work. I've known it to work in a lot of different industries and markets. So I'd be curious to see how that would go here.
Absolutely. I think it will work 100%. Yeah. All right. Step 4 is the presentation. So what's your feeling? Okay, let's say we understand their pain point, their situation, where they are at right now, their budget, their heaven, their hell. Now, how do we present our offerings?
You have to make sure that you're incorporating everything that they said. You know, you can't just not take everything in and just spit back some cookie cutter pitch, right? It has to be tailored and personalized based on all of the information that you just collected, or else you've already lost all that trust and credibility.
Exactly.
To phrase it
every time.
Absolutely,
Every time is
tailor
different.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, how does that look like, Alex?
So, like, let's say that earlier in the qualification stage, you asked about their previous attempts, right? And they said, well, I paid for SEO, and we got up there and it was working, but it was too expensive, right? So you want to take that information and take that into the presentation and say, okay, so remember earlier when you said that you said this, and you repeat exactly what they said? Yep. And they say, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to prevent that, right? Because in our package we do this, this, and this. That was just that example. So it only if it works, right? So you have to that's why you have to be present and mindful in these conversations, because you have to be on. Yeah. You know, you should be exhausted after a sales call because you should be fully present and into it, right? But that was kind of a bad example. But yeah, you have to tailor it to whatever they said earlier and make them say their own words back. Yes. And then when you give the presentation, say, okay, well, we're going to avoid all that. Yeah. If you can avoid it. Or we're just we don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Or for instance, they said past attempts, they were locked into a 12-month contract. Presentation absolutely has to have in it that we have no contract.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so we're tackling whatever pain that we got from earlier.
And bring it back up. So remember when you said that you were locked in a 12-month contract? Well, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. You know, you referenced hell, and then they want to go to heaven. Well, make their heaven a reality.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what I would ideally, it's possible to do. You know, we are going to make it happen, and this is how. So providing the solution right away, and then telling them how it's going to happen, right? Because we don't want to keep it in a figment of their imagination. We want to make it so real that it's tangible. They could feel it. They could almost taste that steak, right?
Yeah. So
she's hungry.
We'll get food after this, Diana.
A good way to do that. Okay, so this is perfect. We'll take the steak example. So
Thanks,
a good way to do that is so you don't want to talk about the features too much. You want to talk about the benefits of the features, right? So rather than say, okay, the steak is sparkly, it has this spice on it, you're going to say, you're going to feel so good when you taste the first bite of this. And then you're going to feel so great after. You're going to tell all your friends. You give the feature, and then you do the benefit of the feature, and then the benefit of the benefit.
Yeah, it's that proof that it's working.
And it makes them feel. You have to make them feel it, right? That's the emotional part of the buy.
I love it. Yeah, I do think that presentation portion is very emotional, and it hits every single one of those pain points, making sure that they have been understood and that you're tackling that problem.
Yeah. So the presentation in my mind is a transition from the qualification to presentation. And that transition comes with summarizing and rephrasing
Yes.
their words. So,
Yeah.
so Mr. Client, you've said this. Is that correct? Yes.
Right.
Now, the first step is to present the solution that we offer. And then right after presenting the solution, we need to show them proof. And you're big on results. Like when Alex, when we started working together, he's like, where's the proof? Like, show me proof.
Yeah.
And then I had to really go and go to the team and take screenshots and show numbers and Alex, rightfully so, he was pushing me to lead with the proof, right?
Yeah.
So when we present a solution, words are cheap. Right after that, here's how that works for X client, Y client.
Yeah.
So
This
the
is
metrics.
the results.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
these are the numbers. They invested this, they got that.
Yeah.
Right? And then once we do that, okay, so now we presented the solution and the proof. Now it's going to be like, they're going to start build up stuff in their head. Is it going to take too much of my time? How is it going to work? So now we have to transition into showing it how it all works.
The deliverables. Yeah.
Exactly. So you sign up for a monthly fee. You go on an onboarding call. You schedule your first recording session. You will have a dedicated social media manager. All of the steps that they will feel safe into how this service is going to be rendered to them. And then finally, we will present them with the packages.
Yeah, and give them a couple of different options.
Yes.
Exactly.
But not all at once, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
That's part of closing, though. But so I just want to say something quick on presentation.
Sure.
So
Love it.
So the presentation, so when we're giving them the metrics and we're giving them testimonials, we want to make sure that they're tailored to what they said in their pain points or what they said in the qualification area. So like if, there's no point in showing, if they only want to do SEO or website, then there's no point in showing like testimonials in ads, right? For that particular conversation. Now, if they want to do it later, that's fine. But if they're like gung ho just on SEO and just that, then we have to present that. The other thing, I think I kind of forgot, but the within the presentation,
Not giving them the two prices right away.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that probably is in the closing, but yeah. So okay. There's something called cognitive load, right? And that's like where it's overthinking. It's when there's too much information and people are getting this every day because we're always on our phone. We're always on websites. It's just cognitive load all the time. And most people don't have a way to get that out, to outlet it, to get it like released, right? Unless they practice certain things. So most people are coming into the conversation with a cognitive load. So make it as easy as possible for them to sign up.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's like, just give them one price. Now, that doesn't mean if they say, that doesn't mean the whole time, but just at first, just give them one thing. In my opinion, always start with the higher price.
Obviously. Yeah. I agree.
Interesting, but it's there's a lot of different schools of thought here.
Yeah, for sure.
I've definitely heard of it as well because when you give one price, that shows that you've already tailored it specifically to them, right? You're making it so easy for them to just understand what the pricing is because that's what people want to know. Okay, how much does it cost?
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you give them the higher price first and you tell them what it all entails, what it all comes with, then that's where they're probably going to have some sort of objections because that's how humans are, right? We've tried our best to get rid of the objections. Now, if they still have an objection that is relevant to part of the pricing or one of the things that we have to offer, then we could go back and say, okay, well, if you don't want SEO, for example, here's what we can do for you. And that way they don't feel like they're getting pushed into anything, but it's now being even more tailored to them.
Yeah, it's them making the decisions again, right?
So you're more convinced in presenting one price or multiple prices?
Personally,
once,
I
right?
would say one price. And I know you have your Shelby, I have my Shelby, right? So
Your Shelby is a girl, my Shelby is a guy.
yeah. So my Shelby, she's in the school of one price.
Really?
She's in the school of one price.
Okay.
Your Shelby, I know, is in the school of two, and I'm fine with either, but I do think that it's more effective for us to present that one pricing first.
If you give them too many, their objection is going to be, I need to think about it. And that's a really hard objection to overcome.
Right.
Yeah, because then you have to go back to the qualifying stage
Yeah,
to
but-
understand what the objection was.
To rebuttal that, they can say, I need to think about it, whether you present one price or two.
But there's less of a chance for them to say that. If there's more of a chance for them to say that because of the cognitive load if they're given more options. Like I just know that just from the years and years of selling. Like I've lost deals because I said, okay, the full price is $8,400. If you want to do 2-pay, it's $3,500. If you want to do 3-pay, and they said, well, I need to think about it, and then they ghost me. And this guy was on. Like I know that if I just would have delivered one. And then they say, then if they give you an objection, then give them the other price, right? It's not like one and that's it.
Gotcha.
Like you just do it one at a time. That's
So
all.
with Jay Shetty, it was one price?
Oh yeah, one. It was pay in full every time. That's it. Just the PIF. And then if they said, well, I can't afford that, say, okay, well, what can you afford, or what were you thinking? What budget do you have? And then you're still not giving them too many options. You're tailoring it to what they can afford.
Wow.
Yeah. So rather than say like, okay, PIF, the PIF is whatever, $8,400. Oh, I can't afford that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what can you afford? Well, I can afford about $2,500 a month. Okay, so let's do the 4-pay at $2,500 rather than going from the PIF to the 2-pay to the 3-pay to the 4-pay, because that's going to give them cognitive load. They need to think about it.
Yeah.
I've
But
just
the
done
other
that
school
so
of
many
thought
times.
here is like when you go to McDonald's, they tell you like, you want an upsize or so you want, they will tell you a burger only or fries and Coke with it. So they always give you options. Even with Starbucks, they always
But that's
give you
low
these two
ticket.
options.
So that I feel like that's the difference between low ticket and high ticket.
Yeah.
Okay.
High ticket is like, it's more like, it's just a higher price. It's higher, what's the right word I'm looking for? It's, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a high
but-
ticket sale. So and I love what you're talking about right here, because think about it. Low ticket sales, like the things that cost $5, $10, $15.
You're going to get something.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't take a lot of thought to be like, oh, is that going to really impact my bank account?
It's
right?
low risk.
Yeah, very low risk. Whereas high ticket sales, we have to make sure that we're tailoring it to that specific person. It's not anybody can afford this. This isn't for everybody. So every time that we have that conversation, it's specifically for Naja and taking care of Naja's pain points and making sure that he has to do, it's the least amount of resistance, the least amount of work for you.
Yeah, least amount of resistance. Yeah.
But again, the argument says that people need to make the decision themselves. So they need to choose rather than...
They're making the decision themselves as you're having the conversation with them.
Yeah, to
they're
go with
telling
you.
what we've already touched on what their fears are.
Gotcha.
Right? We've already touched on what their objections were. And so now, like all this time before we even give them a price,
They've already chosen.
we've been tailoring
Yeah.
it to them all this time.
Very interesting.
Now we're giving them the price point, but that whole time, that whole conversation has been for that price point.
Which party are you in?
I definitely support the presenting one and then tailoring from there. But as we're talking about this and having this conversation, the word sticker shock comes to mind.
Yeah.
And I know that happens for some people where they see that first price. It's so out of the range of what I'm able to afford. And I immediately disengage.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm
but
sure
that's
that happens. Yeah.
handling. Oh yeah. And then you handle the objections. Like, okay, well, what can you afford? What budget? Or what were you thinking? Or like that's just, sticker shock definitely comes with high ticket, but that's no matter what you do. Like, cause like, if you deliver like 2,500 for 4 months, they're going to add that up. And it's still 10K. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to think 2,500, but if you go 10K first, you get it out of the way and then they hear 2,500 and it's like, it's a psychology thing.
I mean, we are the team, right? Like we are the 4 people who's going to, sell this thing. So
We should test it.
We should really really make a consensus here. Are we presenting 2 different packages, 3 different packages, or 1 package? And based on everything that I've heard so far, it seems to me, and it's making sense. It seems to me that imagine we are the doctor.
Yes.
And the client is coming to us, oh, my leg hurts. And then we're asking, okay, which leg? Oh, this leg. And we can say, okay,
How long has it been hurting?
How long has it been hurting?
You ask all the questions. It's the doctor frame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're asking all and then I'm gonna do this. It's gonna hurt you, and then you'll do it. And then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna touch you here, but it's not gonna hurt you. So we are diagnosing the problem.
Yes.
And then the doctor at the end of the session, he doesn't say, well, I'm going to give you a choice.
Yes.
You
Exactly.
can do this medicine
And
or that
that's-
medicine.
And that's
How healed do
authority.
you want your leg to be?
Yeah, and that's authority. That's why they say do the doctor
Yes.
frame. I was going to bring
And
that
I
up.
think,
Yeah.
and I think with high ticket sales, you have to have that
Yes.
authority.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have.
Otherwise,
you
it
have
comes
to.
across as not confident.
Oh, man, this is
Absolutely.
the music to my ear because I always feel that, when I see a client, I know exactly the recipe. Like I know that this is what you should do. And with all the learning that I got onto sales, and you have to present options and stuff, it's kind of like I'm forced to do the options part.
We'll make it tailored for them and then give them a price point, and then that's it. Now, after that, and then hold silent. That's the other thing, is silence.
Zip the lip.
Yeah, I did that bad, right? Like the other, okay. So we just talked about it, and then I did it. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so silence, and then if they come up with an objection and it's money based, one, you have to confirm that it's money based. So it's like, okay, there's something called pacing the first objection, where usually the first objection is not really the objection, right? Unless, so you have to confirm it. So you pace it, right? So if they say, that's just too expensive, and say, okay, well, money aside, do you feel like this would be a good fit? Because then if they say no, then it's not the money.
Oh.
It has to do with what you presented, and it's not tailored to them. But if they say yes, then you know it's about the money.
It's like you want to confirm
so
that it's
true.
about
Yeah.
money or not.
Wow.
I love that.
So
Money
true.
aside,
Yeah.
is that a good fit?
That's
Yeah.
subtle
That
and
is
powerful.
But you only
Wow.
do that after they bring up the objection that it's too expensive.
Wow.
And then after that, that's when you can do the additional option.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't want to, you do give options, but you don't give the options at
Up
once.
front.
Yeah, all at once.
If like say in the doctor scenario where they're like, oh, well, I can't do that because I'm allergic. I don't know if they would be, I don't know if they would even know what's in the medicine, but say they're like, I'm allergic to this inside of that medication, then they'll give you a different alternative. But they're not like, okay, you could do this or this, because then it'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
They
the
just give
doctor,
you
you
one
tell me.
lose
medication.
confidence.
what?
Yeah, and then you're like, well, I don't like.
Exactly.
Yeah, you lose confidence, and you're like, well, I don't know which one to go with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you just don't.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're like, you're the
Which one's
expert.
better? Which
Shouldn't
one's
you be
better? I don't
telling
get
me?
it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Tell me one thing. Just tell me what to do. That's what I say when I go to the
Like, well,
doctor.
then why am I going to pay you if you
Right?
don't know how much
And
it's going to pay?
if you've had the right conversation before it,
Yeah.
they're going to be there. Like, just tell me what to do, because they're convinced that your way is the only way. If you've done what you're supposed to do in the sales call.
This is so good.
Yeah. So yeah.
So so let's talk about, like, we're still in the close phase where we present the offer. So, Mr. Client, given everything, I think this should work for you. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna cost you $5,000. And then what we do, we zip the lip and we let now it's all about like them sitting with that discomfort, because it's engineered and it's important to speak very little at this point and just let them really uncover, whether they say, yeah, sounds like a plan. Okay, we'll go for it. Then great. And then there we can either, would you like to send you with me? Would you like me to show you how to pay? Like, I think that's
do
I
it
learned
with them.
from you
Yeah,
directly. Like, we
just
don't need
get
to
them
wait.
to pay. Yeah, don't send them the invoice. Just be like, okay, I'm going to send you the link in chat right now.
Yes.
Wow.
And then check them out right there. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Awesome.
they might not agree with that.
Of course.
But then that's become objection handling.
Yeah,
love
time
that.
kills most deals. So if you
Yeah.
deliver the thing and they say yes, oh yeah, 100%. Get
Well, and
them checked out.
they're riding the high of all this
Exactly.
excitement that you've built.
Exactly.
So why
and
not
then
capitalize
they're
on
thinking
that
that?
about like
falls
the pain
after you
point.
leave.
Yeah.
You've already handled every single objection, and so as they leave, and if they haven't signed yet, then they'll forget, and
Yep.
then they'll be like, "Oh, I really don't need it as bad as I thought I did."
Yeah, and it's because the brain is negative, right? And then we forget good things easily. So yeah, like it's going to be weird the first time you do it. But when I was at Jay Shetty and I was like, they were like, okay, let's do it. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna I opened up Zoom and then I shared my screen and I asked them for the credit. We used to collect the credit card numbers. So okay, let's go ahead and get started. What's your credit card number? And I tell you, it was so awkward and so weird for a long time. But they just follow you because you are the authority at that point. Like they trust you.
Amazing.
if you've done your job right. And they just do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We can ask for the credit. I mean, we can open the
We don't even
payment.
have to ask for their credit
Yeah.
card.
No, yeah.
Just send them the link, yeah.
Anymore.
Well, so if you ask
We
for the
have a
credit
payment
card,
link.
it keeps it more like the authority within you, because like, okay, so here's the thing: if you ask for the credit card, then they give it to you over the phone. They're thinking about giving you the credit card number, but if you give them the link, like they're sitting there typing and they're like, oh my God, am I actually doing this? Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And then they'd be like, okay, well, I think, and then this weirdest objection comes. Oh, well, like I need to get my car fixed. And it's like, like it just, I just from my experience, that's what's
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
When I used to send out the links versus me just take it over the phone. It was always better to do it over the phone.
Interesting.
Wow.
Because you're not manipulating. You're at that point, you've already, like, they bought in and you know what you have works. That's why you have to believe in what you're doing. Because otherwise this can come across as manipulation and salesy, but
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
You are helping them transform their life and their business.
And they have said yes.
Yes.
So we're not gonna push like, what's your credit card number, and you haven't said yes. But
Yes.
if we
No,
presented
no.
the offer, it's gonna be $3,000, and you said yes, let's do it. Okay, what's your credit card number? It's natural
Yeah.
next step.
Okay,
but
yeah.
but we're not gonna say what's your credit card number. It's gonna be $3,000. What's your credit card number?
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
to say yes,
Yes.
first.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, what happened if they didn't say yes and start hitting us with objections? You mentioned
Yeah.
one of them, which is it's too expensive.
Yeah.
So what's your rebuttal to
So
that?
you always want to pace the first objection. So figure out if that's the real objection. If it's money, say money aside. If it's time, and say time aside. If whatever it is, just say, okay, if that wasn't here, is this still a good fit?
So let's
That
go
will
through that.
confirm
Let's
the
go through that.
objection.
Emily, I need to think about it.
So time aside,
Well,
you're
okay, so
asking
I
for
need to
time.
think about it. That's a different one. That's why that's the hardest objection to handle. Okay. So
really?
I need to think about it is like, and you have to ask this in the right tone. Is like, okay, well, walk me through your decision-making process. What does that look like? And then they'll tell you. And then if you have the guts to say this, sorry, you say, okay, well, can I just be honest with you? Is that okay? So your thought process your decision-making process has gotten you to where you are today, right? Yes. But you understand that in order to be where you want to be, which is what you told me earlier, which is this, and this, you're going to have to change your decision-making process. So do you really want to do that
Yep.
or no?
wow.
I love
Yeah.
what you're saying here, because I need to think about it. You must have missed something, or you must have forgotten, you must have forgotten something in the entire interaction that you've had that did not hit on their fear or the objection previously. So now we have to go back to the qualifying portion all over again.
Asking questions. So make sure, yep.
Go back to qualifying, ask the questions, and touch on those fears that Naja was talking about.
Yeah,
Because
address them.
oftentimes it has to be there's some sort of fear, there's some sort of worry that's getting them to know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, but that's the only I need to think about it. So every
That's the only
objection
part I
is
need to think
different.
about
Yeah,
it.
it's different.
The price is too high. Do you remember what that one is? The
Price aside.
Price aside. But then we have to touch on the ROI, return on investment, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm sorry, say it again.
So if someone's objection is price is too high.
Okay, money aside.
So money aside.
Make sure it's about that. Yeah.
But yes, money aside. And then if they say yes, then we touch on the ROI.
Yeah.
So
Right?
let's say you said money aside. Is there anything? I said no. It's just the money.
It's just,
Then
yeah,
what
it's
you
just a
do?
cost. Okay. Money aside, I have to think here. Money aside, blah, blah. Okay. So, I would ask, you could either ask, okay, what's their budget, right? Like if they're really tied into the business, they already know the budget coming into the call. If they're not, then they don't know. It's probably not a good fit.
But you already touched on this earlier, which is the ROI, the return
Yeah.
on investment. How would it feel if you've been making this decision for the last 6 months and look at where you are now? How would it feel? This is a return on investment. If you were to do this, think about how much more, and you've already showed the
Yeah.
metrics by that time, how much more
So-
you'd be bringing in.
So you could, but you always want to form it in a question. So like what you would say there is, and that jogged my memory. So thank you. Is okay. So, okay, so the price is too high, money aside, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if you were to spend if it was 10K a month, if you were to spend 10K a month and you mentioned earlier that 3 months from now, you could be making 20K. If that happens, if you spent 10K and you get 20K back, would that be worth it? Now that's not showing a guarantee.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee there.
But giving them a scenario.
It's just giving them a scenario, yeah. Or you talk about the benefits of the benefits. So like, okay, if you spend 10K and it's not about money or I guess that is about money, and you get this much back, but you also get this, and this, like you said that you would get earlier, right? Like, remember when you said this? Like, what if you got that and you spent this and you get this ROI?
Yes.
Like, do you think that's worth it? Just ask those stupid questions. Like, do you think that's worth it? Obviously, it's worth it.
Right.
But ask it.
Yeah. But then when they say yes, that's the reinforcement
That's
in their
confirming.
brain.
Yeah.
So there are two paths from this. Like when you say, oh, it's too expensive, money aside, would that be a good fit? Yes, it would. It's just the money issue right now. Okay. Now we can go two ways. We can go into the ROI. So let's take a scenario. Let's say you invested $3,000 and $2,000 in ads, in total five grand, and you get enough business for like 15,000. So now we're showing them the ROI. But the other side is that what's the cost of inaction? Like let's say you did not. Let's say you close this call.
You should have already asked that though, right?
In what way?
In the qualifying stage.
The
Oh,
opportunity
Yes,
cost.
but
Yeah,
maybe,
but can't we return
there's
back to it?
Yeah, there's a possibility you should have,
yeah.
but maybe they didn't.
Yeah, but that's when you would deliver a cheaper option. That's when you deliver, you just go into
Yeah.
the other options.
No, I hear what you're saying,
But-
and I agree with you. But there is a possibility that, say, for example, I forgot to ask the question, what's the cost of inaction during the qualifying
of
stage?
course, ask that.
So a lot of times it could be because I missed that.
Oh, right, I get you.
Now I have to, I'm like, it jogged my memory. Oh, I forgot to ask, let me ask. But if they're like, after we've touched on the ROI, and there's still an objection, and they say yes. I hope I'm not being confusing, but they say yes, a price aside, would you still be interested? And they say yes, and we've already touched on the ROI. Then that's when we can bring that second alternative
option. But
that
you
second
also want to
option.
bring back up what you said earlier. Remember when I asked you earlier the cost of, or like, not this, but remember earlier when I said that, if you don't do this, like, in 12 months, you'll be here. Is that worth 10K a month to you? Or is it not worth 10K a month, right? Like so you could do that there. So you can bring it back up, but don't ask the same question twice, because that'll show that you weren't listening, or you know what I mean?
Sure.
But you can bring it back up, whatever they said. So that's why it's important to be present and listen. Does that make sense? Like, okay, so cost of an action, they say yes, and then to the money aside, and then they say, then you can bring up either the ROI, but if they say, well, let's say money aside, is this not a good fit? Then it's a no, then that's a completely different conversation, right? So you could go a couple ways with it, yeah. But I think actually now saying it out loud, I think the strongest way, the ROI one is great, but it's obvious, right? If you give 10K and you make 20, like, is that a good deal for you? Yes. You could always follow that up with what you're saying now. Remember earlier when I asked you about 12 months from now, if you want to be there, like, what if you're there in 12 months and you could have been here and the difference was 10K? Is it worth it to you?
right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so price is too expensive. We touched on it. I need to think about it. So here with the I need to think about it, the idea is to uncover exactly what do they need to think about and the
their
decision-making
process,
and then try to gently challenge their decision-making process. Okay.
Or just ask them, do you feel like this is the time to change your decision-making process? Like,
fascinating.
Yeah.
Another one similar, but I need to talk to my partner,
Yeah.
to my spouse.
This one, like, you want to do spouse aside, but don't say it like that, right? You want to say, make sure it's about that. That's always, whatever objection comes up, make sure it's about that. So paste the first objection, right? Okay, you obviously want to ask, well, does she know, do they know that you're on this call? If they don't, then, okay, well, what do you think they would say if they did, right? If they know that they're on the call, then you say, Okay. So she knows you're on the call. What do you think that she would say? So you end up at the same spot.
That's your ally right there.
Right. And then if that's a deal breaker for some people, right? They like what I say in some point at Jay Shetty, I would say, okay, so what we usually do in this situation is we take a deposit for $500. You go talk. It's a refundable deposit. You go talk to your spouse. If they say absolutely not, then just come back. I don't want to cause a fight in the family. But if they go back, if you go there and they support you, then you just come back.
But
and
what's
we'll
the
get you
idea
started.
of the deposit?
Locked in? It's some sort of commitment.
Why?
I think it's like has to do with the psychology of sales. Like, if they're committed,
They will
it's
defend
more
the
likely.
position
Yes.
with their
Yes.
spouse.
Yes.
And that they
Defend
won't
it
disappear.
more.
They won't disappear. They won't say, let me go
Yeah.
talk to my wife, and then you never
there's
hear from
money
them
on
again.
the table.
Yeah.
You're going to figure out if they can or cannot do it at some point. They're not just going to ghost you because there's money on the table.
Right.
That's another good point.
But I mean, if you're doing it to me, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I need to really speak to my wife about this, I'm not going to put a deposit before speaking to my wife.
She's gonna see
would
that
just
on the
say
bank statement.
That's why I say what we usually do in this situation is we put a deposit down for $500, and then you speak to your wife. If she's like, no, I don't want to cause a fight in the family, we'll refund it. And then so at that point, that's the only option to the lead.
I know. Again, school.
And
of
if they say
Shelby-
no,
school of Shelby over here. But what Shelby is saying is, help them become an ally. You know, well, your husband is going to want the best
That's what I was
for
gonna go
you,
next, yeah.
right?
Ooh.
Your husband wants. Sorry, your husband wants
Take
the
it
best.
with you if you want.
All right, my husband's bossy. No, just kidding. No, your husband wants the best for you, right? And I know that he trusts you with your decisions, right? And so this is a really good decision that you're making for both of you. What do you think? Back to what Alex said. What do you think some of his objections would be?
And then you
it's
train them on what to
and
say.
Yeah. And then not just train them, but how would you feel if I jump on a call with you?
Yeah.
So that the
Get
two
another
of
call.
us can explain it. And so that way she doesn't have to do it all by herself, because I know like, say Emily is the one that's selling to me, and all I know is a little bit of like, I'm going to try to remember what Emily says, but I'm not going to be the best salesperson for this.
Exactly.
So I want Emily to come with me to help explain to Naja why this is such a good idea. You know? And so now Emily's going to be my advocate, and I'm Emily's advocate because I know Naja, right? Naja's my person. And so now we can tackle any objections that Naja might potentially have.
Yeah, you definitely want to set up another call with the spouse. That was the last step.
Yeah.
And you already do that. Or
The-
business partner or whatever.
The other thing that I think is important on this one, though, is from the beginning, understanding who the person with the
Decision-making,
power and the
yeah.
decision maker is.
Yeah.
Because say, for example, Alex and I are business partners, but Alex is the main decision maker. It doesn't make any sense for Emily to have a conversation with me,
Yeah.
right?
It's
and
in the
only
qualifying
with me. It
stage.
should be.
Yeah.
It should be the two of us.
That's a good point. Like,
It's in
so
the
back to the
qualifying.
qualifying, we completely missed that. There's one question that's like, who does that? We need to know
Yeah,
how
who
the
makes
decision making.
Yeah. Are you the primary decision maker? That's what
Correct.
Yeah.
So that should come in the qualifying.
Because if they are, that's great. But if they say, well, me and somebody else, then at least you know you can continue with it. But you know you're going to get the objection that they need to talk to the business partner.
Yeah, and then invite the business partner to come as well. So that way it's the two of them together making the decision right then and there.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, another objection for you guys. I tried marketing before.
So,
Not with Parrots Lab, though.
yeah.
You're hired.
I think for this one, in the discovery, or I'm sorry, in the qualification, you'd ask them about their past attempts, and you have to go dig. You have to dig deep on that. So you have to fully understand what that's going. So it's a case by case basis. If you fully understand what they went through, and then you already delivered how you're different in the pitch, right? So that objection shouldn't come up unless you miss something.
Yeah.
If you miss something, then you go back and
Exactly. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes we do miss things, right? And so that's why when they have those objections, we don't take it personally. We're not like, oh shit, I dropped the ball, right?
No,
Because
you
then
just do it. Yeah.
they'll see the moment of deer in the headlights in your eyes, right? But rather we're like, oh, okay, let's go back to the qualifying, and that's always going to be okay if you haven't touched on it previously. And so what have you tried, right? What have you tried in the past? What was it that you didn't like?
Yeah.
Was it the strategy, right? Was it the timeline? Because that's a big factor. There are too many times in marketing agencies, they promise you the world, but they don't deliver quickly. Or we hear time and again, some of our biggest clients are like, oh, I was ghosted. I paid the money and then they didn't get back to me until like a month, 2 months, 3 months later. And that's why they come to us, because we're reaching out to them weekly, right? And they have their own personalized person and manager that they can feel comfortable with and they can have the conversations with. And so that's a big differentiation between, having paid a ton of money and been ghosted and paying a reasonable amount of money and making sure that they're catered to every single week, right? It's almost like that white glove service.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I can't afford it.
Okay. So money aside, obviously, and then you give them options. And that's when you can either give them the options, but I would never assume. Just ask them, okay, what can you afford, or what does affording look like, right?
Yeah.
Like what does that look like? And at the same time, you do want to bring up, like, in not preface, but you want to say that you want to remind them that that this is a different level of service, right? Like, but yeah, I can't afford it. Money aside, and then what does affording look like to you? And then if you have a package tailored to that price point, then do it. If not, it's just not a good fit. It's not worth it.
100%.
Yeah, and by that point already,
you should know.
We should already know if they can afford it or not.
Yes.
I know one thing that was a big eye opener for me was that Naja said that typically when he asks about people's companies, he looks to see if they have an average of about 5 or more people in their employment, because that means that they're doing fairly well.
Yeah.
So when you ask those questions about what does your team look like, who's in it, all of that, you have a good understanding. Oh, they have a team of 10. They have a team of 25. They can probably afford a $3,000 per month price point. Whereas if it's them by themselves, wearing all of the different hats, they're depending on what it is and on what their business is, they probably won't be able to afford that price point.
Yeah, because what's the alternative? Like, if you are a company with, I would say, 3 to 5 employees and you want to do marketing, you will have to hire a good, fairly decent marketing person.
Right.
And that one person is not going to be able to do everything that we're going to be doing
for the same price.
For the same price. But even if you hire that full time, like I know someone in my BNI chapter who decided to hire a marketing person and not like hire us, for example.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be stuck. They're gonna be paying so much more for very little. Like what they can do, they can maybe manage your Canva posts on your social media. Like, what can they do?
And they don't know what to do, right? Like, I mean, they don't know what to tell them to do.
Yeah,
and we do.
Where if they pay cheaper, like they can pay less amount to hire us, and not only they get one person, they get a team of 25 different experts, one specialized in CRM, one specialized in SEO. So they're getting all of these A players as part of their team for a fraction of the money that they could spend on one person.
Yep.
And I'm sure the quality of the product will be night and day.
100%.
Oh yeah.
All right, so awesome. So now we finished the close part, and then the other one would be the final step would be to follow up. So the follow up is that really we are owning the relationship. We care for this client. We're not just like, as soon as they give us the credit card, we're like gone. We're checking on them occasionally. We want to make sure that I'm going to check on you by the end of this month to see if this was worth it for you.
And not even by the end of the month. As soon that same week that they have paid, or as soon as they've paid, we let them know these are the things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's book your appointment for you to come on into the studio next week, right? Or sometime this month if they can't that week. Yeah. That way they know that there's action happening and their money is moving and it's not being stagnant. They're not wondering where that money is
what's
going
on.
There's like there's movement.
Yeah.
I'm
all
wondering
for
if
the
there's
business owner.
I'm wondering if there's something that we can give them
Yeah.
right off the bat, like a business profile homework where they can fill it out. So they like a packet where we can learn about their business, even if we don't. Well, I mean, yeah.
No, we're already working on that. So
Okay, good.
Let me tell you the current situation, like the what happens when people say yes. When people say yes, we usually send them a payment link. Now, some of them, they want an agreement. I tend not to like agreements, to be honest. Every time I send an agreement, stall happens. Why? Because they look at this legal agreement.
Oh, they want to get a lawyer.
And now they're going to give it to ChatGPT and give it to lawyers and all of that. And that delays a lot. Instead, I would just write an email with the scope of work. We agreed on the call that we're going to deliver this, that. Here's the payment link to start. The payment link is a subscription base. So as soon as they put their cards, they pay. And then on the same day, on a monthly basis, their card is going to be charged. As soon as they pay, right now, the same payment link will automatically take you to schedule your onboarding call. So the path is that they pay, click submit. Thank you for your payment. Please schedule your onboarding call, a calendar. That's what's currently happening.
Yeah.
They will book their onboarding call. And then once they book their onboarding call, they're going to receive an email like, hey, welcome. We're excited for your onboarding call. During the onboarding call, we're booking their recording session. We're introducing them to the team. We're realigning on the goals and outcomes. We're presenting our research and our planning. So we have a whole thing set up. I think the only missing part is that information gathering, that packet that you're talking about. So now we're working on, as soon as they pay, instead of going directly into onboarding, or we can station this packet right after the onboarding call. So let's say they book the onboarding call, then they will be redirected to a small survey, and we're injecting a lot of videos in that survey. So to educate them about every step, because a lot of people, they come to us, they don't know what a lead is, they don't know what SEO is, they don't know like the basic services. So we need to educate.
So you're creating
them
like a
on that.
module. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because that's how we're gonna be doing it smooth. Like it's a smooth process going in and out.
Love it.
Now, the bigger companies that we work with continuing to grow, they're going to want agreements because they have to, you know, just FYI. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we can go away, like how we can handle this. I saw one vendor that we are paying for, the CPA, our CPA. He embedded the agreement in an automated like Next,
Nice.
Go Next.
Oh.
So you basically
After you pay, you mean?
So you basically, as soon as I send the link before the pay, they will see the kind of the agreement. They click next. We're basically ticking the box that they agree. Then they pay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a
because
contract.
an email sent to them, it's like, oh, I have to read this. Whereas,
and then they gotta find
with
it, and then,
with every other application, it's like, let's be honest. I mean, maybe you do, but
I don't read
them.
No.
I'm like, scroll next, and just get what I need to do done. So it looks a lot more, I guess, easier to trust when it's like embedded into it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's probably how we're gonna.
That is
inject
so
that
interesting
agreement.
now that I think about it, the psychology of it all.
Yeah.
Because if I were to send an email if someone were to send me an email
With
about
the
it,
PDF agreement,
then I'd be like,
contract.
oh, this is serious
somebody
AF.
to-
Like, let me
I need to get this reviewed.
let me get my reading glasses on.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. And also the follow-up stage, it will give us chances for upselling and cross-selling if need be. Like, so how is your experience like? What's your challenges and stuff? Oh, by the way, we have the appointment setting now. So, you're getting a lot of leads, but you're finding it difficult to qualify those leads. Oh, we have that other service too that probably could work. I'm still hard. Like, I really struggle with the upselling and cross-selling. I feel like, I'm already taking some of their money and now I want more. I feel like greedy or whatever, but I don't know. What do you think, Alex, about that?
Cross-selling and upselling, yeah. I mean, it's a relationship, so you have to be careful with it, right? It's like, it's different. It's way different of a sale. But like, I mean, with what we do, I mean, we like with the quality of work that we do and the results that we're getting right now, like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel like greedy or anything about that. I mean, you're giving them business right now. Like I wouldn't feel bad about it.
I think a big point on that is it's so important for us to make sure that we're maintaining that relationship with them.
Yes.
Right. So, we're going to have to take them to dinners, make sure that we're being thoughtful. Do we know when their birthdays are, right? When their spouse's birthdays are, when their kids' birthdays are, right? We need to be aware of that so that way they have that trust and it doesn't feel so transactional.
Yeah.
And then over time, once we've established that relationship, now they're going to feel if we want to, and not necessarily because I hate the word upsell, but if we see that there's something additional that might be beneficial to them, or that maybe in a conversation that they've mentioned, oh, I would like to do this, or say like we have one of our clients, they get asked to go to conferences all the time, right? So he's like, oh, I need a videographer for this. Well, yeah, now it's easy to upsell, but it's not an upsell. It's like, oh, you need something? I can assist you by doing this, right?
Yeah. It's intentional.
I think it's because it's new. Like our upsells are new, right? Like with the what we're talking about, and once you get confident in that it works, like it's just going to be an easy thing, right? You know what's going to work for them.
And I think it's also about being intentional with upselling. You know, it's not, would you like fries with that with every customer?
Right,
it's something that you believe that they would truly benefit from based on the things that they've said or the things that you understand about that client.
Tailored.
Fully agree. Fully agree. Yeah, and that's going to come with time.
Yeah.
All right. I just had a thought. Sorry, just
Go
at
for
the
it.
end. I think we should do like, if their video goes like, 100,000 likes, like their first video that goes 100,000 likes, we should do like a certificate or something. Or like the first video that does like 1 million likes or like, and they have like some sort of
Kind of like
thing.
what YouTube does.
What
Yeah,
YouTube,
it's subscribers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
plaque, and so they could put it up in their offices
Exactly.
and stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
And that's marketing, right?
I love that.
That is such a good, Alex.
What a nice touch. Yeah.
I love
that's fun.
that.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
It'll be fun for
that
them.
leans into the fun, and that's what we're
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, for sure. There's a people who do like us in Miami.
Yeah.
They charge like $15,000 for one episode.
Yeah.
But they treat their guests or their client like royalty. You come, they present you with that package. I think they're called legacy maker. So you're a legacy maker, and then they give you the badge and they give you that fancy box with like certificates.
Yeah, that stuff
And
matters.
that's what we
cool.
should be doing,
Yeah,
truly.
that's cool.
Because we're not the same as like
No.
big conglomerate marketing agencies, right? We are very tailored, very specific.
Relationship,
We really
yeah.
want to take care of those relationships. We started from the beginning when you and I first spoke about this.
Yeah.
We talked about how we want to make sure that it's tailored to the people. It's
Yeah.
not this big, huge thing
Yeah.
that we want to make it very personal, very intentional. And
Yeah.
I think that we should follow in some of those footsteps.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Emily, any final thoughts or summarize the whole thing? Like, what did you learn today? What do you feel?
I think my big word coming out of this is intentional. I've said it a few times and I've heard it come up a few times. I think that one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being intentional about what we do, believing in what we do, and having that confidence and authority to know that we are the right fit for them if they're the right fit for us.
I think for me, I learned a lot in this. I'm really happy that we did this. It was cool.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's more about like the third stage, which is the qualification stage. I interchange discovery and qualifications all the time, but that is where like I feel like we can grow the most in our current sales process is asking the right questions and digging deep into their why, into their business, and then tailoring our presentation towards that. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I agree. I think the understanding, really going into the psychology of people's fears and their objections. But something I feel like I really learned today, and I love that we had the conversation on, was the providing the choices. Right? I thought that was a really great aha moment for me, where it's like, okay, I understand where Naja's coming from with providing the two choices.
Right, of course.
But I do think that it is really important that we show how confident we are and show the authority with providing that one price point. And then if there's objection or pushback on that, understanding to finally get to that potential second choice.
Yeah, same. I think something I learned recently is that success is rent and not owned. So basically what this saying is that whatever success we get, all of us on the individual level or a business level, we should never let our ego be involved as if we own it. It's always earned every single time. Success in sales is earned in every single call. So we have to really be intentional, to Emily's word, about all these steps need to take place. And it's not just like, oh, that's cool chat. We had this conversation today. That's fine. And now we forget about it. And then next we go back to our old routines. No, I think we have to be really, from myself to everyone here in this room, every time we have to go through the steps of a good sales process. From the preparation to the introduction, to the qualify, to the present, to the close, and to the follow-up. And we have to keep on honing this. And my biggest aha moment is the doctor frame and not presenting options and just providing the prescription.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what we would do.
I love
Exactly.
that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Diagnosing and prescribing.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Treat it as like a transformational business, because it is. Like, we're transforming people's lives.
100%.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank
Yes,
you both.
thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
It was fun.
Yes, learned so much.
Yes.
So they like a packet where we can learn about their business, even if we don't. Well, I mean, yeah.
No, we're already working on that. So
Okay, good.
Let me tell you the current situation, like the what happens when people say yes. When people say yes, we usually send them a payment link. Now, some of them, they want an agreement. I tend not to like agreements, to be honest. Every time I send an agreement, stall happens. Why? Because they look at this legal agreement.
Oh, they want to get a lawyer.
And now they're going to give it to ChatGPT and give it to lawyers and all of that. And that delays a lot. Instead, I would just write an email with the scope of work. We agreed on the call that we're going to deliver this, that. Here's the payment link to start. The payment link is a subscription base. So as soon as they put their cards, they pay. And then on the same day, on a monthly basis, their card is going to be charged. As soon as they pay, right now, the same payment link will automatically take you to schedule your onboarding call. So the path is that they pay, click submit. Thank you for your payment. Please schedule your onboarding call, a calendar. That's what's currently happening.
Yeah.
They will book their onboarding call. And then once they book their onboarding call, they're going to receive an email like, hey, welcome. We're excited for your onboarding call. During the onboarding call, we're booking their recording session. We're introducing them to the team. We're realigning on the goals and outcomes. We're presenting our research and our planning. So we have a whole thing set up. I think the only missing part is that information gathering, that packet that you're talking about. So now we're working on, as soon as they pay, instead of going directly into onboarding, or we can station this packet right after the onboarding call. So let's say they book the onboarding call, then they will be redirected to a small survey, and we're injecting a lot of videos in that survey. So to educate them about every step. Because a lot of people, they come to us, they don't know what a lead is, they don't know what SEO is, they don't know like the basic services. So we need to educate.
You're creating
them
like a module. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Because that's how we're gonna be doing it smooth. Like it's a smooth process going in and out.
Love it.
Now, the bigger companies that we work with continuing to grow, they're going to want agreements because they have to, you know, just FYI. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what we can go away, like how we can handle this. I saw one vendor that we are paying for, the CPA, our CPA, he embedded the agreement in an automated, like next, like
nice.
you go next.
Oh.
So you basically
After you pay, you mean?
So you basically, as soon as I send the link before the pay, they will see the kind of the agreement. They click next. We're basically ticking the box that they agree. Then they pay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a
Yeah, because
contract.
an email sent to them, it's like, oh, I have to read this.
Yeah,
Whereas,
and then they gotta find
with
it, and
every
then- yeah.
with every other application, it's like, let's be honest. I mean, maybe you
Yeah.
do, but
I don't read
them.
agreements. No.
I'm like, scroll next,
Yeah.
and just get what I need to do done.
Yes.
So it looks a lot more, I guess, easier to trust when it's like embedded into it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's probably how we're gonna.
That
affect
is so
that
interesting
agreement.
now that I think about it, the psychology of it all.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
I were to send an email if someone were to send me an email
With
about
the
it,
PDF agreement.
then I'd be
contract.
like, oh, this is serious
somebody
AF.
to- yeah.
Like, let me
get this reviewed.
let me get my reading glasses on.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. And also the follow-up stage, it will give us chances for upselling and cross-selling if need be. Like, so how's your experience like? What's your challenges and stuff? Oh, by the way, we have the appointment setting now. So, you're getting a lot of leads, but you're finding it difficult to qualify those leads. Oh, we have that other service too that probably could work. I'm still hard. Like, I really struggle with the upselling and cross-selling. I feel like, I'm already taking some of their money and now I want more. I feel like greedy or whatever, but I don't know. What do you think, Alex, about that?
Cross-selling and upselling, yeah. I mean, it's a relationship, so you have to be careful with it, right? It's like, it's different. It's way different of a sale. But like, I mean, with what we do, I mean, we like with the quality of work that we do and the results that we're getting right now, like, I mean, I wouldn't feel like greedy or anything about that. I mean, you're giving them business right now. Like I wouldn't feel bad about it.
I think a big point on that is it's so important for us to make sure that we're maintaining that relationship with them.
Yes.
Right. So, we're going to have to take them to dinners, make sure that we're being thoughtful. Do we know when their birthdays are, right? When their spouse's birthdays are, when their kids' birthdays are, right? We need to be aware of that so that way they have that trust and it doesn't feel so transactional.
Yeah.
And then over time, once we've established that relationship, now they're going to feel, if we want to, and not necessarily because I hate the word upsell, but if we see that there's something additional that might be beneficial to them, or that maybe in a conversation that they've mentioned, oh, I would like to do this, or say like we have one of our clients, they get asked to go to conferences all the time, right? So he's like, oh, I need a videographer for this. Well, yeah, now it's easy to upsell, but it's not an upsell. It's like, oh, you need something?
Yeah,
I can assist
it's
you
just-
by doing
exactly,
this,
yeah.
right?
It's
I
intentional.
think it's because it's new. Like our upsells are new, right? Like with the what we're talking about, and once you get confident in that it works, like it's just going to be an easy thing, right? You know what's going to work for them.
And I think it's also about being intentional with upselling. It's not, would you like fries with that with every customer?
Right,
It's
right.
something that you believe that they would truly benefit from based on the things that they've said or the things that you understand about that client.
Tailored.
Fully agree.
Yeah.
Fully agree. Yeah, and that's going to come with time.
Yeah.
I just had a thought. Sorry, just
Go
at
for
the
it.
end. I think we should do like, if their video goes like, 100,000 likes, like their first video that goes 100,000 likes, we should do like a certificate or something. Or like the first video that does like 1 million likes, or like, and they have like some sort of
Kind of like
thing.
what YouTube does.
What
Yeah,
YouTube,
it's
the
subscribers.
plaque.
Yeah, that
exactly.
plaque, and so they could put it up in their offices
Exactly.
and stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
And that's marketing, right?
I love that.
That is such a good, Alex.
What a nice touch. Yeah.
I
That's
love
fun.
that.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
It'll be fun for
that
them.
leans into the fun, and that's what we're
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, for sure. There's a people who do like us in Miami.
Yeah.
They charge like $15,000 for one episode.
Yeah.
But they treat their guests or their client like royalty. You come, they present you with that package. I think they're called legacy maker. So you're a legacy maker, and then they give you the badge and they give you that fancy box with like certificates.
Yeah, that stuff
And
matters.
that's
That's
what we
cool.
should be doing,
Yeah,
truly.
100%.
Because we're not the same as like
No.
big conglomerate marketing agencies, right? We are very tailored, very specific.
Relationship,
We really
yeah.
want to take care of those relationships. We started from the beginning when you and I first spoke about this.
Yeah.
We talked about how we want to make sure that it's tailored to the people. It's
Yeah.
not this big, huge thing
Yeah.
that we want to make it very personal, very intentional. And
Yeah.
I think that we should follow in some of those footsteps.
Awesome. All right, so let's wrap this up. Emily, any final thoughts or summarize the whole thing? Like, what did you learn today? What do you feel?
I think my big word coming out of this is intentional. I've said it a few times and I've heard it come up a few times. I think that one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being intentional about what we do, believing in what we do, and having that confidence and authority to know that we are the right fit for them if they're the right fit for us.
I think for me, I learned a lot in this. I'm really happy that we did this. It was cool.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's more about like the third stage, which is the qualification stage. I interchange discovery and qualifications all the time, but that is where like I feel like we can grow the most in our current sales process is asking the right questions and digging deep into their why, into their business, and then tailoring our presentation towards that. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I agree. I think the understanding, really going into the psychology of people's fears and their objections. But something I feel like I really learned today, and I love that we had the conversation on, was the providing the choices. Right? I thought that was a really great aha moment for me, where it's like, okay, I understand where Naja's coming from with providing the two choices.
Right, of course.
But I do think that it is really important that we show how confident we are and show the authority with providing that one price point. And then if there's objection or pushback on that, understanding to finally get to that potential second choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. I think something I learned recently is that success is rent and not owned. So basically what this saying is that whatever success we get, all of us on the individual level or a business level, we should never let our ego be involved as if we own it. It's always earned every single time. Success in sales is earned in every single call. So we have to really be intentional, to Emily's word, about all these steps need to take place. And it's not just like, oh, that's cool chat. We had this conversation today. That's fine. And now we forget about it. And then next we go back to our old routines. No, I think we have to be really, from myself to everyone here in this room, every time we have to go through the steps of a good sales process. From the preparation to the introduction, to the qualify, to the present, to the close, and to the follow-up. And we have to keep on honing this. And my biggest aha moment is the doctor frame and not presenting options and just providing the prescription.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what we would do.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Diagnosing and prescribing.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
it.
Treat it as like a transformational business, because it is. Like, we're transforming people's lives.
100%.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank
Yes,
you both.
thank you.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Yes, learned so much.
Yes.